Searching for a place to camp, seeing the ocean for the first time in years, white knuckle drive up the mountain, and cat spilled coffee in my car. Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Wandering Ananda, and this is the story of my journey car camping with my cat in one of the smallest SUVs ever made, a 2000 Toyota RAV4, which is smaller than the newer model. After Rose Valley, I resupplied in Santa Barbara and headed up the coast where I saw the ocean for the first time in years, despite living 10 miles from it in LA. I checked out Gaviota State Beach Campground only to decide that it was too cold and expensive, but would be a good backup if there weren't any spots at Figueroa Mountain, which is first come, first served. The drive up to Figueroa Mountain was a narrow one-lane road with a steep drop. Once I got to camp, the campground was nearly empty since it was just before Memorial Day weekend, which was fully booked. The site was decent, especially with no one around, and spacious, but it was relatively hot in the car and super buggy. The first come, first serve sites are all together in one spot. Some are on the outer rim and some are on the inner. I have mosquito netting, but small insects, including flies, still manage to get in every time I exit and enter the car, which for some reason was a lot. I thought I was going to get whiplash from the small insects buzzing in my ear. Overall, the netting is difficult to manage even with magnets. It's just a nuisance dealing with the small flying insects all day, and a relief when it's finally cool enough to close the doors. The screens on my windows were a lifesaver, but also cut down on breeze and visibility. I hadn't noticed that my grocery order was short a few essential items until after setting up camp, so I had to make do without a few crucial products. Not like I was going to go back to town. And the next morning, my cat's tail knocked over my coffee, which went all over my bedding and the floor of the car. I was pretty mad about it for a few minutes, mainly because things were constantly spilling everywhere, and I want to avoid mildew and bugs. But my car constantly smells like a pet store from her food anyway, which is upsetting and gross. She's also constantly walking on my bare legs due to limited space and digs her claws into me when she lands or loses her balance to the point of my bleeding. At the campground, I only had one bar of cell service, which was basically no cell service with my old phone. More about that in the next video. So I ended up not staying and was sort of panicked with nowhere to go. As I drove back down to where I could cell service, I longed for a van to be able to pull over on the side of the road or stealth camp for the night since I was tired of driving, or just be able to use the restroom without having to leave my car and leave my cat in a hot car. Anyone else car camping this summer? How's it going? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Anyway, I ended up driving way too far for way too long. Join me next time when I drive through a creepy wooded campground, camp at a cold, windy beach, and arrive to a closed BLM site. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to follow me on this journey into the desert and beyond as I drive up the coast of California in my tiny SUV.